So it's day, excuse me, it's day 308 of Hey, What Are You Doing Today? And what an incredible day. It's always good to have a good day. I mean, just a good feeling that'll carry me through the day, just to be captured in that sense. I mean, just a powerful, uplifted, nothing's gonna bring me down kind of feeling. So day 308 is one of those days. It was funny. I was walking in this morning, and it was kind of a gray, cold, gloomy, very cloudy, rain pouring down kind of day, and I turned to somebody and holding a door with a little, with a touch of sarcasm, a beautiful day, I gave one of those, and the person turned to me and said, "Glorious day." And I thought, what an awesome adjective that I think has become underused. As soon as I thought about it, I don't hear it used enough, I guess. But what a glorious adjective, glorious. And it's turned into a glorious. It was a glorious day then too, even though it was raining. I don't let the rain deter a day from being glorious. But now the sun's shining. There's big clouds brushing through the air, sun peeking through them, and it's about 50 degrees. It's a blessing from that cold spell. Hopefully we snapped out of it and bring on spring. Daytona 500's coming up. I haven't watched NASCAR in years. I used to watch it pretty regularly, but the sport has lost something to me. I'm still a big motorsports fan. I love, Formula One is something I know I've talked about in different videos here, but anyway, I'll definitely catch the Daytona 500. Daytona 500 has kind of taken on, in the last few years for me, has kind of taken on the birth of spring, even though it's technically not spring. Once the Daytona 500 is run, I know that we've made it through the winter. There might be a couple small little snaps or spells, or maybe a snow day here or there, but I like to use that as a benchmark of the spring, the Daytona 500. So that's this Sunday. Look forward to that. Not as much as I've looked forward to them in the past. And I don't follow it. And a lot of sports is knowing people, knowing stats, knowing relationships, knowing those kind of things. That's what makes the humanity side of things, I think, makes sports a lot more interesting. Knowing the players and their stories. And I don't know much about any of the people that are driving anymore in NASCAR. There's a few leftovers out there from when I was watching it, but they're getting fewer and fewer and farther between. But anyway, so the spring is coming. I'm excited about that. Kind of talked about it briefly yesterday. This thing has taken over where I'm letting that little voice inside of me kind of command me on what to do, and I'm acknowledging it. As if it was the voice of the ether, of the higher power, of the Tao, of the thing that can't be named, of God. And to my best capacity, I'm doing what it tells me to do, and trying not to get frustrated by it, but simply accepting it and doing it. And it has proven itself to be an incredibly powerful exercise. I catch myself. I think, even if I can't say, the voice is coming from somewhere else. If the voice is just a voice inside my brain, and that's fine. It's not for me to judge or decide. But I guess inherently inside of me, and it may be true of everybody. I think we all know, or I know. I can't speak for anybody but myself, but I believe that I know what I need to be doing. I believe I know what's correct, and I believe if I tune into that voice will tell me. What I mean by that is, it's been 300 and this 300 day 308, and a part of my requirement was to lift weights daily. Just a simple little exercise. It took me a while to get the push-up thing going, and it's something that will sit in my mind. I don't want to do those push-ups, so that makes those push-ups harder. But now, uh, last night I was getting ready for bed, and the voice said, go curl a couple dumbbells before you go to bed. Okay, it's the last thing I'm thinking about doing, last thing I really want to be doing. But if I move on it with that voice said it, I'm gonna do it kind of mentality, I get to it, and all of a sudden it's not that hard. It's not that tedious. I'm not doing it because I'm telling myself to do it. I'm doing it from a different perspective. Something greater than me is telling me to do it. Says yesterday I was halfway through something I was eating, and the voice said, throw it away. And I hate to throw food away. That's one of my pet peeves. I try not to waste food at all, but the voice told me to, so I did. I threw it away, and it made me think, boom, I cut out 100 calories off my diet for that day. But not only is it getting me to do the right things, it's making me more powerful. It's doing for me what I couldn't do for myself. Today I got up. My legs are still sore from a longer run 2 days ago, and then I did a decent run yesterday. And I got up, and in my brain I said, well, you did good the last 2 days. Take it easy, just a slow little run, and kind of a relaxed, feel good, stretch the legs out run, and I was okay with that. As soon as I got on the treadmill and I turned on what I was listening to, and all of a sudden it said, well, run a mile an hour faster than you've been running, and run 2 miles. So I was like, okay. So I kicked it up a mile an hour faster and maintained 2 miles, and then halfway, well, I guess about 15 minutes into the run, or 14 minutes into the run, somewhere around there. I've got these little 2-pound dumbbells that I very rarely use on the treadmill. It said pick them up, so I had to pick them up. So now I'm running a mile an hour faster than I would normally run, than I had intended on running anyway. About a half a mile faster than my last few runs, and but I'm not. It's not that tediousness, that monotonous that comes if I command myself to do it. If I decide to do it, then I concentrate on the tediousness of it. If it's something that I just have to accept and do, it is what it is. And what was funny is, I got down to the last, well, I mentioned this yesterday, I was listening to the Psalms, and again, I had to run 10 Psalms today. I don't know where that came from, but it's interesting. So I got down to the last Psalm, and I'm sitting there with the weights, these little 2-pound weights, and they add just enough resistance to feel it. I was at the point where I wanted off, and a little voice inside of me said, hold the weights over your head. So next thing I know, I'm running 7 miles an hour, which is a good speed for me, with 2-pound dumbbells over my head, and I've lost the energy of my arms pulling me through that speed. So I've got, and then that song ended up being probably about 3 minutes long. So for about 3 minutes I held these weights over my head, and it wasn't unbearable. It wasn't the worst feeling in the world, but it was tedious. It was it was something I wouldn't have put myself through. Had I not paid attention to that voice, I would have probably ran a mile at 6 miles an hour and called it a day. So it's making me better. It's definitely making me better. It's a good thing. It's a powerful thing. And that coupled with what I've mentioned before, this thing called the Jesus Prayer, which is just phenomenal. Anytime I drift away from myself, and then I pull myself back with this little prayer that I recite over and over in my head, and it just immediately takes me back to this centered feeling, this solid feeling, this good feeling. I'm aware of myself. I'm aware of the world around me. I'm paying attention. I'm not bothered by anything. I'm not being hit by thoughts that are negative or anxiety or anything like that. It's just it eliminates all that and just generates this freedom and this peace and this power. And as a person could take from that whatever they want. I mean, 308 days ago, I would have looked at myself like I was crazy if I was talking about praying unceasingly. And so I can understand and respect that. But what I want to do is kind of validate that. I want to demonstrate why that's valuable. It's not so much in reaching out or praising God or any of those things that I might have a negative connotation or a negative impression of inside, from the way I was raised, from the way that I've lived for 40 years. But what it does outside of the element of that, it makes me closer to myself. It makes me aware of myself. All those things that I just mentioned. So these are the two most powerful tools that I've found along the way. The Jesus prayer and doing anything that little voice inside of me says. And I will say again, it's a fine line between doing anything that little voice says and being OCD. I can definitely see it going down that road, and it's a fine line to walk. However, the voice hasn't taken me to that OCD. I kind of, when I first decided to do it, it definitely tempted me a couple times. As I mentioned, I think 2 days ago, I had to remake the bed like 4 times in order to get it perfect. But that was a practice. That was just something for me to see if I had the wherewithal to do it, and then also to try to go through the motions and go through the actions without a resentment, without trying to remain at peace with myself and with what I'm doing while I'm doing it. There's something being taught to me through that. I don't know what it is. I recognize that something's being taught through these 2 exercises. I feel like something bigger is being taught. I feel like I'm being disciplined for something. We'll have to see what happens. But that's day 308. Glorious day 308 of Hey, What Are You Doing Today? Thanks.
I was thinking you kept saying Vernon was inside here. Now Vernon, he's not going to come up the part. He sat right in there. I thought he was. I said, oh, he in there? No.